Welcome back to our movie episode of Urban Lifestyle Cafe. Welcome back to Urban Lifestyle Cafe. I'm Michael, your bougie black brother. And once again, I'm here with my co-host, Alicia.
Hello.
And as we promised, we got an opportunity to step out and see the new blockbuster, Wonder Woman.
Yes, everybody's seen it but me.
So, and it's been hot. So people have been talking about it. It's been great, great reviews. So we definitely wanted to get to see it. Part of the DC universe that she first showed up in Batman versus Superman. And when I saw that, she was just amazing. She took over the movie. You remember what she did, even though there were some things with Batman and Superman. Yeah, yada, 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 yada. But when she showed up, you was kind of like, wow, that's Wonder Woman. So we kind of look forward to seeing it. You know, did you have any high hopes on it, Alicia? Or was it just, yeah, I'll just go see this movie?
It was amazing. Everybody told me, oh, Alicia, you always beat us to the movies, and we beat you to the movies to seeing it. I loved it. I loved every bit of it.
So this was an origin story. So if you don't know, this kind of goes into the origin of Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, or the Princess Diana, as they kind of went back and forth on, whereas as a child growing up on the Amazon island, I don't even know how to pronounce what they were calling it. So it was the island of the Amazons.
Yeah, the island of the Amazons, the beautiful island of the Amazons that only had women and no men.
Yeah, so it was like pretty cool. It looks like something like Cyprus or somewhere in the Mediterranean. It was just beautiful. It doesn't look like it was one of those made up places, CGI'd, but it was really the scope and the scenery was beautiful for the island.
It definitely was.
So the concept of the origin story was Princess Diana. She's, training like the Amazons. Her mother didn't want her to do it because her mother was the queen, and she really didn't want her to train and whatever. And then her sister was another warrior. The queen's sister was a warrior. And it was just all women. And she was the only child. And it was like, she's the only child on the island.
Yep.
And it was kind of cool. And then all of a sudden, Chris Pine crashes a German aircraft in the ocean because the island is actually hidden.
Right.
Remember that?
Right. So you actually knew the guy's name because, I was going to just call him the captain of Star Trek. So.
Oh, yeah.
Because
the Star Trek guy.
Yeah, I was gonna just say the
Captain
Star Trek. Yeah, I'm just gonna say the Star Trek guy.
Star Trek
so
guy.
Michael knows his name, but as far as I'm concerned, he's the Star Trek guy.
So he's Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk,
the young Captain Kirk.
Yes,
from the
actually, he
Star
was
Trek.
damn good in this movie because all I could remember every time I see his face, I said, "There's Kirk, there's Captain Kirk," and then they killed him off. But anyway, that means he'll never come back.
Wow,
knowing that
we went straight to the end.
I know, but I didn't mean to do that. But he's like,
straight to
he's
the end
so
of the
good
movie.
in here.
Thanks.
And I didn't want him to leave.
Appreciate that.
I know. I'm sorry. I just do that. I'm sorry.
So, anywho, so let's talk about when he was alive. How about that? So he crashes there, and Diana is kind of pissed off because her mom really doesn't really want her to be who she really is.
Yeah, because she wants to save the world.
She wants to save the world. She wants to save everyone. And when she saw this plane crash, she jumped in the ocean. And let me go back a little bit. So as they show the warriors actually fighting, it's just amazing. The women fighting each other, the acrobatics, everything from there. It was really, really cool. It didn't look like, Iron Fist. I had to put that in there. It didn't look like Iron Fist, which was the worst fighting scenes ever in a superhero movie. But no, so it was really cool. So you saw that, wow, this was some skill shit going on. So, as they was practicing and they was training her, it was really, really cool. So that was cool from there. So anyway, so Captain Kirk crashes his plane through the fog of where the island is hidden, and the Germans are chasing him in boats and everything. We don't even know why yet, but he just crashes. And she saves him and brings him on shore. Then all of a sudden, the Germans keep going straight ahead, and they was like, hey, there's something behind this whatever.
Yeah, it's something behind this cloud.
The fog. And they happen to get through the crowd and find the Amazon island. So, Chris Pine, or Steve, as he's called, I'm going to just call him Steve, because he got like 3 names now. Captain Kirk, Chris Pine, and Steve. But Steve, tells Diana, hey, the world is under attack and is evil. And Diana was told that Ares, the god Ares, wants to destroy the men, right? The human race. Is that right?
The human race, yes.
Not the human race.
No, it's something about the war.
Yeah, so the Great War. He wants to have the Great War because Zeus created men, and he wanted to destroy it because he felt that he wasn't being respected as a god, so Ares. But, so it went from there. And then once they got there and they start shooting everybody on the shore, the Germans got to the shore and the Amazon warriors started killing them. And she said, I got to come back with you.
That's right. She did.
So that's when the story begins.
Yes.
And the story begins from there. So they take a boat and they head back to where?
London, UK.
London.
Mm-hmm.
So
UK.
Yeah, so I missed something. Why were they going to UK?
Because she told him that she has to find Ares.
Mm-hmm. But why was he going back?
Because he had the book.
The book.
Yeah,
and
because
that's what we didn't explain.
Right. So he basically was a spy for the Russians and found out.
Not the Russians.
Oh, spy
We're
for
not talking about Trump.
Okay. No, he was a spy for the British and he's spying on the Russians. Okay.
So
and got the
war is with the Germans.
Oh, that's
not
right.
The Russians.
I know. Oh,
the war is with the Germans.
Oh shit.
World War I and World War II.
Oh my God.
Were the Germans.
That's
hence the Nazis.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
What it was.
The Russians
Nazis.
are the Germans right now at the prayer.
So way off.
Oh, okay. So it was the Germans. Oh my goodness. And
so the Germans had some secret type of
bombs,
gas warfare that
gas
they were
warfare.
working
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
But the Germans was running out of munition. They was running out of food. Their soldiers were tired and they really couldn't fight anymore. So they was going to have some kind of compromise.
Right.
But the compromise, they really didn't want that because they felt that there was a secret weapon that they could use.
Right.
So when he was being a double agent, meaning he was a British spy, but a spy as a German, he stole a book from one of the scientists, the German scientists,
right.
that had some kind of deadly gas weapon.
Right.
So that's why he wanted to bring the book back to London so they can know, hey, look, they bullshitting y'all. They ain't not gonna compromise. They have some bigger plan. So it went from there. And then that's when he took Diana back with him.
Right. But
So,
he
go ahead.
basically convinced her because she was like didn't quite understand what the hell was really going on.
So this what made the movie interesting. So I'll go into this my interesting parts, which is when he brought her back, they showed her like, wow, this is totally different. And Gail Gadot or Gadot, or I'm not sure how you say it, but Gail or Diana, she is an amazing actress. So every time you can see her adjusting or something was like, that doesn't sound right.
Right.
You can see it. She's acting the part like, wow, this is not right. Or, she challenged things. And it was a really great movie that it showed a woman with confidence, strength, ability, and compassion, all wrapped up into this single woman that went out into the world to save the world.
Right.
And she played the part perfectly, which made the movie really interesting to get to.
I mean, the storyline was really good. I loved how it just flowed because it basically said, okay, if you didn't know where she came from, this is where she came from.
That's the origin story.
Right. So, and a lot, I mean, and we're talking about comic books. A lot of people don't even read comic books no more. And so I thought that the flow and getting, how it went, it was perfect.
Yeah, because it was similar. And I was telling Alicia earlier that it was similar to the Captain America. Back in the war, we had to find something to help us win the war. So Captain America was one of the super soldiers that they made, and the origin story, and then it went from there, and then it just built.
Right.
Which was really, really good. But they did the same thing with her. But even with her, she didn't even know her powers. She didn't even know who she was.
That's right.
So as the story was going along, she finally found out why she was powerful in certain ways. She had some abilities in other ways. She didn't really know. So she gained all of this, based on her experiences not being on the island, where her mother tried to hide her because Ares, which is the god of war,
Right, yep.
If she was made, no, she needed to have the blade. There was a blade to kill
Ares,
the god of war.
God of War, yes.
So before she left, she took the blade. She took the rope of truth that she ties it around people, and people got to tell you the truth.
And they mean, and
the
they
shield.
And they were saying that I think, and on the island they knew she was the weapon.
Yeah, so they knew that the only thing that can kill the god is her,
Right?
Because she didn't realize that she was a god.
That's right.
So, but again, throughout this movie, which was fantastic, it was a really good movie. Good origin story, put it that way. Because, my superhero movies, there's certain things that I just like to see. Some things that if they don't, it's kind of like, it's okay. But it was a great origin story written by a woman as well.
Yes.
Which I thought you can see it too. The good thing is you can see how it was made to a certain point, that it wasn't so male dominant and it wasn't so, I guess, really aggressive.
I mean, it was so perfectly done, because there were just little parts where, she was trying to be that woman, like, yeah, I'm a woman. And it was like, okay, no, remember, you're not a woman. you're not a superhero. You're a woman in this world. But she so came out of that, it's like.
But even when she wasn't the superhero, she had so much confidence.
Yeah.
She had so much, I don't care if I'm in these clothes. I'm not being an Amazon warrior right now, but don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
She still gave that presence.
Yeah,
even when she walked through the city, she was like, people had to be like, yo, impressive. Not because she was beautiful, but she had an aura of majestic, prestige and everything.
I think my favorite part is when they were telling her, "No, you can't save everybody. Everybody's gonna die," and she was like, "No man's land." She was like, "Oh hell no!"
I'm gonna go there.
And
So there was great scenes. So it wasn't like action after action after action, but I think it was appropriate action. So when it was time, it was appropriate that she just jumped out there. And then the more she jumped out there, the more powerful she became because she finally saw her power and her ability.
Yeah.
So you started seeing it, but it was appropriate action. Where most superheroes, it's like superhero movies. You see it back to back to back. Then it's a small break, and then it's action, action, action. Then it's a little small break, then it was action, action, action. But usually an origin story takes its time to build up and everything from that. Sadly, even though Alicia told you already, sadly, she had a relationship that she was building, and the couple of guys that they picked up along the way and some people and supporting people, sadly it was over, and her origin story was just like for her, and it was it. She's alone, she's who she is, she's a god, and she's here to save the day. So it kind of winded up like that. But I think the origin story is really good. But there's portions in there. So I'm going to go back. Her name is Patty Jenkins. And we kind of read, and Alicia saw a couple of
a news interview about her.
So,
oh my God, she was amazing. I mean,
kind of speak to that because I thought it was pretty cool too.
I mean, she basically said that she had wanted to do this for a while and pitched it several times.
Over 10 years ago.
Yes, and nobody wanted to listen to her. And then another director, or was a producer?
I think it's Zack Snyder.
Yeah, he said, "Okay, look, let's make it happen." And so she was amazing, and I was like so impressed with the fact how she said what she did was she never gave up. She just kept doing it and pushing it and pushing it, and somebody came along, a male came along and made it happen for her.
Well, the reason why, and Zack Snyder, you got to give him a lot of credit because he's the DC guy now. He worked with I'm forgetting his name now, but he did the Superman movie. He started with the Superman, and then when they revised Batman with Ben Affleck, he did this Batman Superman. So he was supposed to do the Wonder Woman as well. So as when she showed up in the Batman versus Superman, that was like blew her up, and they said, "Look, we need to hurry up and get this." So he decided to work with another director, and he put Patty Jenkins in there, and she was like, "Look, I had this whole concept of what it should have been anyway," and,
right.
and she wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So he stepped back and helped, I think, co-write it and produce it, but she was the director. And if you look at the movie, it was done in a really strong perspective through a woman's perspective, but not blatant like, oh, this is a woman's movie. No, it's a good superhero movie with a female lead, and she was the female lead without being a bossy woman, without being too masculine,
right?
Yep, she not being like, because at first she was really defensive. Toward the end, she was killing folks. I was like, yo, Wonder Woman fucking killing people.
Yep,
Whoa.
Yep, she sure
Wonder
was.
Woman killing people with no remorse. She was like, yo, I got to get to Ares regardless and stuff. But it was really, really cool. So it really showed, it had personality. It had, good relationships. It showed how, somebody's got to make a stand, and she wanted to, help the people. So like what Alicia was saying, they were fighting in these, foxholes, and the Germans was just bombing the hell out of their ass. But there was a town under siege.
Yep.
And they was like, look, we ain't got time for this. And she was like, no,
I do. Sure
do.
They sure
and she
did.
just went across the field, blocking all the bullets, and even a couple of that was like really cool. The special effects on certain areas was really, really cool. So really positive. So to say this is a woman movie, it's not a woman's movie. So it's a worthwhile movie to see. It's a very worthwhile movie to see.
And I'm
though.
glad that she didn't focus on like the love affair. You know what I'm
It
saying?
was brief.
I like that part because
But
I
she was learning though.
yeah,
You notice
but
that?
yeah, and I love the fact that they didn't made it all that gooey stuff there. I mean, they made it
Because they didn't have to.
right, exactly.
And they shouldn't have.
Exactly. And I love the fact that in this the villains, you know, who you thought were the villains really wasn't the villains.
Wasn't the villains.
Yeah, it was Ares that really he really wasn't the villain either. It was
Yeah,
just
because and it was cool. The I guess the I don't want to say the tone, but the point of the movie really, and what she had to find out is, men or the people aren't bad, but they aren't good either.
right.
So everyone has a bit of good in them and a bit of bad in them. So you just can't say they're all bad.
Right.
She kind of had to realize that to say, I can't give up on them because they're all bad. Because there's so many people that are good.
Right.
But then even when the good people will do bad things, and then the bad people will wind up probably doing something good. So she figured, well, I'm just going to do the good.
Right.
So she had to kind of stay. And in her mind, you know, it just went from there.
I mean, 'cause that's the part that was just really, really interesting was the fact that, you know, who's the villain, you know, in the whole thing, you know, where you seeing like the Superman and all the other.
Some monster
Yeah,
or some
exactly.
or Lex
exactly.
Luthor.
So, but like in this one, the lady who did the chemicals or whatever.
So yeah, the Miss Poison.
Yeah, she disappeared.
Yeah. So she ran off. So we may see her again.
Right, exactly.
But the big general that she thought was Ares, that Miss Poison gave him some kind of gas that made him like super strong. and
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
And but she killed his ass. I was like, she's like, nothing's changed. Ares isn't dead. What's
Yeah,
going
exactly.
on?
And then he appeared from out of nowhere because
Yeah.
I didn't even. I mean, that was really cool.
So, excuse me, something was strange about him because he was a
know.
little too
Nicey.
and giving, and I was like, so why is he sneaking behind like this?
Because I was thinking that he was part of the German.
The Germans, exactly. So I did think that. I didn't think he would wind up being Ares,
yeah.
which he manipulated everyone.
Right,
so
right.
He really let their.
But she
the
was
bad within
kind
them.
of right in the movie though. She was right. She was like Ares had something to do with them.
Yeah,
But she
exactly.
didn't. She was assuming they were Ares.
Yeah,
but not.
There's no, because remember, Jack, what's his name, Jack or Jeff, whatever his name is. When Steve, where I get all that from? Steve. So when he says there's no one person, it's not one person that causes this to happen. There's no one person, and it's never a one person to get at, unless his name is Donald Trump. But there's no one person. So, and that's what he was trying to get her to understand. Even though you think you got Aries, that still's not going to stop bad things from happening.
Right. And so that was, like I said, the interesting part was finding all the, you know, you who you think they were bad is like they wasn't. Now that's why I said the storyline was really
it was
nice,
really, really good,
and it was different. And like I said, you know, I'm so used to having just one villain and they fighting that one villain and beating them up and finding their weakness and then coming back and beating them up again.
Yeah.
You know, so but this was not like that, and I really was very impressed with the fact that it wasn't. You know, they was telling her story.
Yeah. So you had to do that because they can say her story, but you got to really see her story. And you never have to go back now. You see her story, you never have to go back.
Right.
Which is
right.
really good. I don't have to go back and say, wait a minute, but what about, wait a minute, what about, you don't have to go through
right.
that.
And she don't age.
They already did that.
Yeah,
because she's a god.
Yeah, she
you
don't
know,
age.
she's the princess.
Which is cool. Like, okay, everybody around you got old and died.
Everybody dies.
And you still look the same.
So think about it. That's the same thing they did with Captain America.
I
Remember
know,
when they froze him? He didn't age either.
I love Captain America.
So that was just the coolest thing there.
Yeah, he looked good.
So it was really, so three big positives or a couple of big positives again, baby,
Well, what do you mean by
on the movie for the movie? Positives that you took to say, hey, this is why this was a good movie.
I love it because it was a woman who did it, woman acting in it. I love it because the storyline was just great. It's just a great storyline. And the fact that, she there was no finding her weakness, in this movie. It was her making her mark. That was like really amazing with this movie. Like I said, all the rest of the, the other superhero movies, how they always end up.
And they do it over and over.
Yes. So this one was
Batman
like,
is always what happened. They shot his parents, and he's a millionaire, billionaire, so he want to fight crime.
Yeah,
Superman, he came from another planet.
Yes.
And he's super because of the sun, so he wants to defend the earth.
Yes. And then you got all these, not only girls, but women just totally like loving this.
Yeah.
Because.
And they should, because how many the only true female lead that had anything was Black Widow in Marvel. And she still wasn't a lead. She still was supporting and didn't really have her own movie either. She could because she's a spy.
Right.
And she's good at
you
everything
got
that she
Supergirl
does.
Then.
So that's a TV series.
I know.
That's not a movie, though.
I know.
A major movie is where you get your money from.
Right.
So that's not really what it was.
So that's why I said, Supergirl, they was talking about that because
Supergirl's cute.
I know it's
a cutesy
for the girls.
show.
Yeah. And then you have, what is it, on Netflix?
Oh, Jessica Jones.
Yeah,
That's my girl there.
Everybody loved Jessica.
But see, that was still pretty aggressive.
I
you know,
know,
what I mean?
but she's a kick-ass kind of woman.
But no, so I love that. So guys love a kick-ass, but Wonder Woman is feminine kick-ass.
Yes, she was.
So she's feminine kick-ass.
Yeah.
So you're like, yo, not only is she beautiful, she kick-ass.
Yeah,
It don't really matter.
Yes, it is.
So even when they was complimenting her, she was looking at them like, yeah, whatever. She didn't go like, oh, really? Oh, you think?
Yeah,
so? She was like, yeah, anyway.
Who the hell is she?
Yeah.
I like the part when he said he was on an island with only women and no men.
Yeah. How did we get there?
I thought that was funny as hell. I was like, God damn.
So, yeah. But outside of those, so any negatives?
I can't see no negatives.
Okay.
Because I really enjoyed this movie. I really did enjoy this movie.
So I really like the movie. I really do. But my negatives is level of detail. And if you listen to all our podcasts, it's about the level of detail with me. I love cinematography. I really look at the details of the special effects and the acting. There was portions of the acting that I think the direction was a little too slow. So at the beginning with the Amazons women, they were kind of making speeches, but they were hesitating and they was like waiting. And I was like, whoa, this acting is like really kind of fucked up. But as the movie went on, and I think the other actors and the pace picked up, the acting seemed to be better. But there was spots in there that some of the directing of the actors wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. So when I saw that, it kind of stood out for me. Some of the special effects, especially when she was in the town throwing people around, it reminded me of The Matrix when they had all of those guys jumping on Keanu Reeves, and you can see that they are not real. This isn't real. So that even some of the special effects were, you can see what it was. You can kind of obviously see what it was, but that doesn't take away from the movie. So even with those, that didn't take away from the movie. I think it was an amazing job of what they did of superhero that people had to recognize. And again, I'm going to always go back to when I saw her in Batman versus Superman. I just look forward to seeing her again, because even her charm and charisma on the screen, you wanted to see her. She was just that imposing and inviting to say, wow, not only is she beautiful, but god damn,
Well, see, I'm a big fan of her with the
she's
Fast and the
just
Furious.
really like, whoa.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah.
I love her from the Fast and the Furious. And
So that's
Yeah,
and I
so
forgot about that until you
I was
reminded
like,
me.
she was in Fast and Furious. You're like,
But she kick ass
Really?
on there too, though.
yeah. So that's why I was like, yeah, I already seen her. So
But she was like really reserved there.
yeah, she was, but she was she kicked ass and
Yeah.
was
And was a badass driver.
Yes, exactly.
So, so she was. So I didn't remember that until Alicia said, "Nah, she was on the Fast and I was like, "Which? Oh, she was the
Asian
the
guy.
girlfriend of the Asian guy that died. and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. Both of them
So,
died.
Both of them died.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's who she was. So I mean, she was okay in there. I liked her, but I didn't look forward to seeing her again.
No, because remember, we always said the director's got to direct, and
Mm-hmm.
she was just there to speed cars and beat people's ass, and so
Yeah.
the director wasn't a good director. So,
So
but
it
she
was
was.
about the-
So whoever got her this time, she's doing good.
So yeah, so Zack Snyder, when he put her in there and they created the character, they did a great job. So when she took over, the director took over for this one, Patty Jenkins. When she took over, she was like, "We're gonna keep with this. I want to show this woman to be strong without being aggressive." So she showed strength without aggression. And that's what she said during the interview. And I was like, wow. Because she kind of put her arm up. She said, she's not like this. She's like this. So not a straight arm out, but a defensive arm. So she was defending, but being offensive.
Yeah, I did
except
that.
for being.
I did that move with Apple.
So, which was like really, really cool.
I did that move with Apple. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so that. Pretty
So
good,
overall, I give this movie a 8 over 10.
So an 8.
An 8 out of 10.
Yeah. So remember, Guardians of the Galaxy, I was 8.5 until Alicia said, "Will you watch it again?" I was like, "You're damn right." So I had to push it up to a 9. So I think this is an 8 as well because I think it's just a good movie.
It is. I could watch this over and over again.
So I can't watch it over and over. I would watch it again, but I wouldn't watch it over and over.
I would.
So that's not me. That's not one of my.
There's
movies.
some parts in there I really like. I want to see over again. So that's good. That's one reason why I would say I gave it an 8.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm 8. I'm not gonna take it any lower than that because the origin story was good. I liked the introduction with her. I think she played fantastic.
She sure did.
So you look forward to her. I don't know about all the flying and stuff in there. Because
that was awesome. Even though he may
Wonder
think it
Woman
was fake,
doesn't
I thought
fly.
it was awesome.
I think it was
yes.
really.
It
It's
didn't-
like, dun, dun, dun. I
Yes.
was like, that's not Wonder Woman.
And she used her little bracelet go pew, 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 pew.
Well, that was awesome too. So
She blocked all the damn bullets. I'm like, and the bomb with her damn bracelet. I love the bracelet. The bracelets was awesome. They're kind of big. you know.
but see, that made sense though. As opposed to having small bracelets that they had on the
I
comic
mean,
book.
cute.
and
Yeah,
everything.
they were kind of cute. Yeah, because that's right. Because when we was watching Wonder Woman when we was younger,
Is that Linda Blair?
yeah,
Not Linda Blair,
Linda something.
yeah.
but she had the small bracelet. She ain't had the big bracelet.
That's right.
Yeah,
correct.
that's right.
So the big ones is realistic, because the way it is, it's kind of like, okay, all right. But yeah, that the whole concept of it all was good, and it was armor, so it wasn't like no skimpy little outfit that she had on. It was the armor. So she came as an Amazon, as opposed to if you see like the old Wonder Woman, she was like in a bikini suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then she was like, hee hee, I'm Wonder Woman.
Yeah, because this
Wonder
one
Woman.
she has a little like skirt on. They all had a little skirt on to cover themselves. I liked it that too. I think that was.
No, I thought the armor stuff was like really, really good. So
And she looked really. The armor kind of blended with her skin. She was well tanned.
Yep. Well, tanded. Never heard of
Well,
that.
tanned.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a new word for me.
Yeah, she was tanned.
Yeah.
You know how you go to, you have to tan yourself, and she was tan to match her little her armor suit. It was like it was like really like, wait a minute. Okay, I was just double checking to make sure it was like she was covered very well.
So it was kind of cool because she was walking through the street and she had this big coat on, and she kept wanting to take the coat off. They were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't do that."
Yeah, that coat was cool as hell though. That coat, like, damn, it was like badass coat. I was like, hey, and she got a belt. She had a belt on with the coat. It looked real bad. I was like, okay. And then, like Michael said, when she started trying to strip, it
They were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! What are you doing?"
She got a little carried away with that.
Yeah,
And then carrying the sword and her shield, like after she got dressed, like, I'm gonna beat somebody up.
Yeah,
I got this. And they was like, take that away from her. Take that away from her. Hide it.
So Linda Carter, I finally got it.
Yeah, Linda Carter.
Linda Carter.
They should have put her in there some kind of way.
Yeah, just kind of showed her up
I
and just
know.
give her a little respect.
She could have been like the old lady at the Amazon on the island, something like that.
That's true.
Could have been a grandmother or something like that.
She may not be healthy enough to be on there.
Yeah, that's true. How old is she? I know you're searching for that.
She's 65.
Oh, she's only 65?
Yeah, so
Oh shit, she look good.
She's okay.
Yeah, they're gonna put some plastic surgery or something on there.
Yeah,
you know what
how
they
they
could
do.
do. Yeah, they could do something. 65. I thought she was older than that.
No. That was back in, what was it? In the 70s. She was on from 75 to 79.
Okay, so
the
we
TV
was
series.
Okay, so we were still little teenagers.
Yeah, we was in high school.
Yeah.
Just
middle school, high school.
Yeah,
area.
middle school, high school.
Okay.
So yeah. So that was pretty cool. So overall, yeah, an 8. We both said 8 because I think it's worthwhile seeing. I think it's worthwhile recommending.
Wonder Woman.
We gotta see that.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Remember that? I just thought about it. Wonder Woman.
We hit that 3 times. Thanks a lot.
I love it. Oh my gosh, dude, that bring back some memories because they would sing that song and then she just stood there with her hands on her hip like.
And that's what you're supposed to do if you're Wonder Woman.
Sorry. Okay.
That's what you're supposed to do.
All right.
So yeah, calm down.
Okay.
So anywho, great movie, worthwhile seeing. Highly recommended. Especially you have young girls in your life. Yeah, you definitely need to see that. Anytime a woman that's being empowered, this is just a great movie to see that women are showing, hey, look, this is who I am, and we're dominant without being aggressive. So, and I think that's why it was written and directed that way, that she said, look, this is how women are today, and just respect them as this point. But this woman is a badass superhero,
yeah.
though.
Besides the good-looking Captain Kirk in there.
Yeah, it was the blue-eyed guy.
Yeah.
Oh, it was cool, too. So this was the other thing. There was, like, black women on the island. So, where before the Amazons, when they showed them before, they were all white women. But Amazon women in the Amazon are not white because it's in the Amazon. But since they were gods, they were, they was all mixed there. So you see, even some Asian women were on the island, and some black women. And
again, you have a woman director.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was a great look.
She made sure that there was diversity.
Yep, and the diversity was fantastic.
Yes.
When you saw that, it was good.
Yeah,
now, when they went to London,
well, that's a different story. Yeah, because it was back in a certain time. So
that was the island was diverse.
Yes.
But London was in.
Yeah,
so you gotta take that in consideration.
But the movie was over. It's still good.
Yep. So, love the movie, and I hope to see more of this. We'll see that in the Justice League when they all get together. Superman's dead, and Batman brings everybody together. So Batman, Flash, the new Flash. Who else was on there? Oh, the big guy from the Dothraki from Game of Thrones. He's Aquaman, which is gonna be awesome. That's a big ass dude, and she's on there as well. So her and Batman is really Ben Affleck is getting everybody together. So that's the next time you see her, and I think that's later on in the year. So we'll get to see that one too. So I'm looking forward to that because they building a better character base, and I think DC has picked up a lot of followers because of this movie right here. And I think they'll start watching anything that she be in, and they'll keep an eye out for them. But anything else, Boo?
Nope.
So, Urban Lifestyle Cafe. Make sure you check us out on bougieblackbrother.com, bougieblackbrother.podbean. Subscribe there. We're on iTunes. We're on Instagram, Bougie Black Bro, on Twitter. And you can check out Alicia and Coffee Women in Tech.com. So it's on there as well. And what is it? Find Black Woman?
Yep. Twitter and Instagram.
So you'll be able to pick us up on there. So you can pick us up also on Spreaker, iTunes, Google Play. I corrected my Google Play. Somebody said, hey, I don't see you on, it's a bunch of old stuff. I had to fix the feed, but I went back over all of them. So I'm on almost all the platforms. So go on, especially iTunes, leave a comment, rate it. We'll love to hear from you. And we'll be seeing you next. I think we'll be seeing Aliens. And then there's a couple of other ones that's coming out soon. But I think Aliens will be our next one. So we look forward to talking to you about that one. So, Urban Lifestyle Cafe. And we'll talk to you soon. Later.
Bye.